Welcome to the latest edition of Building Connections, our podcast at Johnson Controls. I'm Alex Runner, and I'm here with our president of Global Products, Bill Jackson.
Hello, everybody. How are you today?
You mentioned your dad being an engineer and doing some complex things. He was a big influence on you, it seems like.
Yeah. He was huge. I mean, so he could fix anything. We never took our cars in on Saturdays. We worked on our cars, and he kind of, we just puttered around. Everything was there wasn't anything in the house that he couldn't fix or wire. He built a stereo system from tubes and assembled it. He taught me a couple kind of key attributes. Fearless, because he was fearless about fixing anything. He'd just go in, and it might take longer than he anticipated, but we would just do it. Drop the engine or drop the drivetrain or do whatever, even if we didn't have a Chilton manual, but even if we didn't have it, it didn't matter. We would just figure it out. And that was kind of a cool way to just operate.
Yeah.
He was always about, helping neighbors too. If a neighbor had an issue or something, they'd call him and he'd go over and fix it. And he kind of always thought about leaving the place a little better than when it started. And that was kind of a theme. I remember one day he was having me, basically roll the lawn, which I had no idea what that was. But you get a big roller and you fill it up with partial water and you roll the lawn, and I didn't know what it did, and nor did I care, and I've never done it again. But the interesting thing about just doing that, so that took me about maybe an hour to do, right? Not even, probably even less. We didn't have a big lawn per se. But then it took me 2 hours to fix the roller because it was rusty and this and that. My dad made me fix it. So when we gave it back to our neighbor, it was in better shape then. And that was kind of a theme that kind of permeates my life, right? Always, when you borrow something or you do something, always do something a little better than you got it.
Yeah, that leads me to a lot of questions. But one question that I wanted to ask you related to that is, you're president of Global Products now, and I've had the good fortune to see you in factories, see you at trade shows, see you, with employees, and you often, it seems to me, you like to go in, ask questions of our technicians, our engineers, our people on the line in the factories, ask them what they do, find out how things work. Is that part of your curiosity, do you think, that was instilled in you back then? Or is it part of just running the business?
No, I just like people. I learn. So part of my job is to learn, to understand, to hear what people's concerns are, to hear what's going well, to, figure out, and everybody's a source of knowledge. Everybody has their view. They see the world from their perspectives. And, and I learn a lot by just talking to people. And by doing that, we get to be a better business because, everybody has insights. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has a view. And if we can take those into account and either solve a problem because of a point, it's all upside.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about Global Products and what it is. We've said that you're the president of it. You've organized it around 4 major product areas. Is that right? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's a little more than 4. Okay. But, so organization follows strategy. So that's a key ingredient, right? You just don't randomly organize your world. You organize it around how you're going to win and why you're going to win. It's like a game plan. It is the game plan. It's a way to get alignment. It's not the only way. It's a way. It's a partial way. You got to put a governance process and measures and things of that nature. The reason we've organized the way we are is we're going to win in HVAC equipment, right? We have a winning game plan in HVAC equipment. And the reason we have a winning game plan in that is because we have incredible technology, specifically around compressors, but well beyond that. We also have lots of products that naturally wrap around these compressor-driven products, like air handling units, registers, grates, things that we can sell as a bundle into the marketplace. Gives us market access as well to sell our products. So the whole idea of an applied equipment organization makes a ton of sense. We also have an industrial refrigeration business. Although it shares technologies with our chiller business, but we have a huge market in industrial refrigeration. Virtually any food processing, any liquefying of gases, we do that, and we do that globally. And the technology there, shares on the compressor side, but it goes to market separately, so we've organized it separately. We have a building management system. We see the world as becoming smarter, more data enabled, and we see what used to be a very siloed building management set of systems integrating into one, and we can lead that game. And we can lead the idea of solving problems for end customers. So that's another piece of our organization. And finally, we really have an unbelievable business in fire suppression. It's actually 7 businesses, and embedded in those businesses are all around protecting and helping and saving lives.
Yeah. I heard you talk about HVAC equipment. I heard you talk about building management systems, including HVAC controls, fire detection, security, and I heard you talk about fire suppression. But I've also heard you talk a lot about, I guess it would be a 4th business, this data-enabled digital solutions. Is that separate? Is that part of one of those? How do you talk about
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so that, so as we think about how the building data in the world is going to evolve, when we came together with, Tyco and JCI, we said to ourselves, boy, Tyco's doing a bunch of stuff, JCI's doing a bunch. Let's all wrap it around and let's figure out what digital solutions is going to be. And we put an onus on them to drive revenue. And by putting an onus and not just being kind of these garages, we actually drove a new set of capabilities. We made people make choices on what the market wanted, what customers wanted. And we aligned with working with customers around our converged security, platform, around our GEM platform, and how we collect data and show and display that data. We're driving a set of offerings around mid-market, right? Connected equipment. And so for us, that is a way to really understand from the market back and get testing about where we're going on our digital.
Yeah. You've had, I believe in that business that Sudhi Sinha runs, the digital solutions business, you've had some big wins, some big customers maybe that own multiple buildings across geographies.
Today we solve solutions in, HVAC controls or security or fire. Tomorrow our conversations have got to be around the end customer's missions, trying to figure out how to help them, through data in a building, do something that they normally couldn't do. So we just had a conversation today, as a matter of fact, with a customer that runs, I think they have 700 kinder care locations, and it's kind of learning development. So, parents who are two-job parents or, single parents drop their kids off, and it's a learning center. And it's a daycare and learning center. And so they have teachers at, very young ages, and they want to know how effective their teachers are. They want to know how many kids are in the classroom, teacher, student ratio. They want to know if the teacher ever leaves it. They want to know that the kids aren't walking out around the, areas that they're not supposed to be. So all this they want to solve, and they're solving it with our technology, our cameras, our digital solutions, and that's the conversations we're now starting to have, bringing all that technology together to make that a better environment and a safer and more secure environment.
That's great. Now, what if someone says to you, Bill, Johnson Controls is amazing with HVAC equipment. You're amazing with chillers. You're amazing with controls.
With rooftops.
You're great with rooftops. You're great with fire suppression, sprinklers. Just keep doing those things separately, and don't worry about data and things coming together. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I'd say we'd have great businesses, but we'd also could have another great business. We have great,
Yeah.
I mean, those businesses in and of themselves are going to be great. They are great. They're winning. They're taking share. But we also have the rights to win in the building management system and digital solution system, so why not?
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the controls business, it overlaps with the HVAC business. One of the things that happens is you have to control something when you're running equipment. Because our deep understanding of controls, it gives us a competitive advantage by being in both.
Yeah, and there's also an argument where people are used to more and more integration in their homes or in certain buildings, and it seems like the whole industry is moving more toward convergence. Is
Yeah,
that
I
true?
think, what I would say is, some of the home technology can be frustrating. So we've got to find smart ways to make it easy, intuitive, simple. And because we make it that way, buildings can run more efficiently and effectively. We can help the environment. We waste a lot of energy in buildings today because people don't turn off the lights. People don't change the set points. We don't optimize the chillers on an ongoing basis. So there's a ton to be able to do that helps the environment, still creates a great environment in the building, but helps, reduce overall costs and, importantly, overall energy and pollution.
Yeah, awesome. So, you've shared quite a bit about our business and also about your background. And I wonder if you could talk just a little bit about this point in time where we are, where as we're recording this right now, the fiscal year for FY18 has finished. We're just at the beginning of our fiscal FY19 year. And how do you feel about our business this point in time, our company, and where we're headed?
Yeah, so first off, first and foremost to the global products team, a big shout out for not only an awesome fourth quarter, but an unbelievable year overall. You know, we grew organically 7%, and in the fourth quarter, we grew 10% organically. That's a home run. That's best in class. We had EBIT growth also that was incredibly sizable, 13+%. I mean, so our financial numbers are great. But more importantly than just hitting the financials, we actually invested for the future as well. We put money into building out new and better products. We put money into the sales force. That's why we're going to not only grow last year, but we're going to sustain that growth. You know, it's balancing near term and long term. And I think our teams are doing a great job making that happen.